Alrighty, people. Are you with me? It appears we are here. Taking a little longer to jumpstart than normal. Alrighty, we are here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. So, we're going to listen to a little church music today for sure. But, before that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a godpill channel update. And then we're going to talk about what the rest of the day has in store for us. And so the update is this. I have a couple bets left that have not expired yet. But if it is not paying out in the next 2 weeks, I will most certainly, could I get more money to invest? Probably, but I'm really not too interested in that. Like, if this investment thing ain't working out, here's the thing. There's enough money in AMC right now to where if everything AMC pans out, then I ain't worried about nothing. But what I'm more thinking about is the future of this stupid channel. And the only reason I'm here is to win. I'm not here to grow to 100,000 subscribers and come back for 8 hours a day and just try to be funny or stupid or whatever. I want to win and then only come back if there's something useful to come back to and say. So basically, I am going throughout this channel or throughout this video, I'll probably be updating my resume and stuff, and then by the end of the day, I'm going to be shooting out my resume to 100 different roofing companies. No one's ever going to hear about what company I get a job at, how much I'm making, what I'm doing, anything like that, because I will completely detach my business life from my YouTube and personal life. But my YouTube and personal life is never going to change. And so basically the idea of my channel is that if in the next week it doesn't pay, I will probably have a job and my YouTube will probably get cut back to maximum an hour a day. And it will always be after market close. And that's okay. And so that's one update. And then the itinerary for the day. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about is religion, politics, and all that stupid crap. So I've been saying a lot of stuff about the Jews. I've even said stuff for the last couple weeks about the Mormons. Obviously, I say stuff about the Democrats all the time. Recently, I've been starting to piece the Republicans and Trump into it as well. But basically, the way that I'm seeing it is that every single human being on this earth who has had a successful life, who has made money and just basically checked out from there and made sure their life was great and their family was great and nothing else, you are the enemy of God, and I am here to take your money. I am here to find out who you are, write a list down, and steal everybody's money that is the enemy of God. And that is basically anyone that practices the Old Testament, anyone who basically ignores the New Testament. If you don't understand what the Bible is trying to tell you, it's trying to tell you a story of men thinking that they are God's power, that they are God's will, and that it's their job to discern what is best for all of humanity, when in no way, shape, or form did we learn that from the start of the beginning, right? The battle in heaven when Jesus and Satan both offer up their plans of redemption for humanity, and Satan's is just make them be perfect and we'll slay them and punish them if they aren't. Just like the Old Testament preaches, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And Jesus says no. The answer is agency, individual success, and godlike achievements, and the agency to do it by choice. And so the agency to go through the bad and the good and understand what's true, what's wrong, and to choose the right. That's what it comes down to. Who wants to actually choose to be a good person? And I will testify today, there is not one person you know that leads a church. There is not one person you know that leads the public. There is not one person you know that leads a well thought out and successful business. There is not one person you know that is looked favorably upon by this world that is worthy in the sight of God. They are all sinners. They are all Satan worshipers. Whether they actively worship Satan or their actions prove that Satan has them by the balls, I don't really care. I just know that I'm right and they're wrong. And by the end of whether it's 1 year or 10 years, like there's just no way anyone's going to be able to keep up with the rate that I'm progressing. I mean, in 10 different ways, I could give you $1 billion opportunity. And I'm going to be offering 1 billion. Like, so basically, there's an opportunity in the next 30 days. If you got $1 million right now, you could create a life insurance product. And I'm going to show you the math of what this product would do. But basically, it'd put Mutual of Omaha out of business because you would just completely annihilate everything they stand for, and you would prove that they were chasing the money and at the expense of their clients, and they did absolutely zero efforts to make this product what it should have been before they allowed my brother to start selling it. And so that's another part of this. So I'm going to be going over the Bible stuff. I'm going to be going over the Suncor Financial MPI plan, which is endorsed and fully protected by Mutual of Omaha. And then I'm gonna probably talk a little bit about what I think to expect for the stock market next week. Because I do got some ideas of what I'm hoping for. If next week is the week where I get paid and I don't actually have to go start working the job, then I know exactly what I need the stock market to do. The one thing that I'll start with is that next week, if things go the way that I hope they go, when the Bible says that the Lord comes through the clouds, and I'm driving to California yesterday, and all I see are these clouds license plates in front of me with slow ass retards freaking driving on the carpool lane because they got a cloud license plate, but they're all a bunch of beaches. Yeah, when I see that crap, I just feel like I'm gonna use Tesla against them, and when Tesla hits 1,000. It will put enough money and notoriety, something, against what I've told people to buy in the last week, because everyone's going to make a shiz ton of money because nothing pays more than Tesla. And then we're going to go take that to AMC and make sure AMC hits the 2,000 like it was supposed to. And AMC may just pop off on Monday. Like, I really don't know what to expect anymore. Like, the fact that they were able to hold this 2 more weeks after the week that it was supposed to bounce and not relieve any pressure tells me that somebody sold a shiz ton of shares. And by Monday, we will be getting the article of which executives, which twin sons, which whatever rtards out there were selling shares to make sure that AMC did not continue to rise. Because we know that the AMC CEO had to give away his shares in order for people to start selling those, because he promised the world he would never sell a single one of his shares. So what does he do? He gifts them to somebody else so they can sell them. Like, what kind of crap is that, people? What kind of crap is that? And so I would like to see AMC go up 30% on Monday, and then I expect it to drop 10% on Tuesday, and then I expect it to moon on Wednesday. And if Tesla does what I want it to do on Monday and Tuesday, I'll be out of it Tuesday morning, and by the time AMC's done dipping on Tuesday, I will be betting the farm on AMC. And what I mean by betting the farm, I can't tell you till I do it. But lots and lots of options, lots and lots of stock. But if Tesla only hits 800, then I'll only have 100,000, and I'll probably just buy stock or something. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, AMC will go to 2,000. It should have happened already. But the CEO said, nope, let's sell some of my shares. I promised I wouldn't share. Just like the 43 million they diluted, they said there's no way in hell they would dilute those shares pre-2022. And then you guys didn't give them the 500 million shares. And they said, well, if you aren't going to give us what we wanted, then we are going to lie to you and we're going to go dilute those 43 million shares. Beaches. How do you feel about that? You're comfortable with your CEO saying that crap to you? Telling you they will not sell a single one of those 43 million shares? They sell all 43 million in 2 weeks to keep the price at $10. And in the next 3 days, it goes to $15 after they're done diluting the 43 million? Think, people. Think for 1 second. These people have been working against you from the very beginning. Who is the best friend of the CEO? Trade Trades. Who is the best friend of Trade Trades? Matt Kors. How many live viewers did Matt Kors have over the weekend when I was in Cali, I saw one video. He had 30,000 people watching him. My people, if you don't think they're going to control when AMC stops going up, because AMC has to squeeze. The people will not sell until AMC squeezes. But as soon as those channels start telling people they cashed out, you better expect AMC's price to drop faster than any stock price you've ever seen in your whole freaking life. Because it doesn't take 50% of the stocks on the order books for sale. All it takes is more for sell than for purchase, and it will crush the price constantly nonstop. So, man, you guys, like, you're setting yourself up for failure by watching these people and letting these people have a platform over the investment that you have banked your life on. I'm the only one you could trust, and clearly nobody's coming here for that. So I'm just telling you the best option right now is to take AMC to 2,000, cash out with me before they start telling people to cash out, and let's go Moass the other stock before they try to Moass Tesla. If you guys don't know what Tesla, if you guys don't know what Moass means, it means the mother of all short squeezes. What would be the definition of the mother of all short squeezes? Well, like, it's the GOAT. It's the one best, only one. There can only be one GOAT, right? And the greatest of all time short squeeze would be the short squeeze, because you guys saw when GameStop went up, the market went down. Remember when AMC went from $12 to $40 in 1 week and the market went up with it? Well, guess what? 2 weeks before that, the crypto crashed 50%. Across the board, it's like 10% on Bitcoin, 50% on the smaller coins, whatever. But they basically took the funds they needed, put them in a special bank account. They calculated what they were going to lose on AMC. And when AMC rose that next week and all the option profits were won, rather than taking from the stock market like GameStop did and crushing the market, what did it do? It had the bank account already reserved. And so they were able to send the market up with it. And so AMC just was like a natural growth, and like, I don't know, just everyone celebrating alongside everyone. It's not how it was supposed to go. It was total trash. When I saw AMC go up and the market not go down, it was clearly pre-planned. And like GameStop, every single time GameStop rose more than 50% in a day, the market crashed more than 2%. Every single time. So I don't want to hear it. Anyone trying to talk against that is mentally handicapped, and that's okay. You can go be mentally handicapped somewhere else. And so this was the first time this like basically this last week when it went from like, I don't know what it was like $50 to $65, we started to see some market weakness. But then we get that news story of the twin brothers having been gifted all of those shares, 500,000 shares each from the CEO of AMC, and I'm sure we'll get a news article soon telling us they sold. KAAGFFRTTV is a mentally handicapped moron. I haven't tweaked in years, and I've only tweaked a couple times in my entire life because I actually have discipline, unlike you guys. I like experience, but I don't actually have problems with addiction. I do things because it makes sense. I follow the math. You guys are scared and just copy people and lose money, and now everyone can call you a gambler because you're mentally handicapped. Me, everything I do is always right. I was always right on the freaking money. Sometimes I'm a day off, sometimes I'm a week off. But if you're trying to make more money than anyone on earth, rather than make as much money as I'm trying to make, you would have following every single play I did and just doing twice as safe. If you would have done that, you'd be already a multi-millionaire starting with not more than $25,000. And I'm not talking about any of the GME or AMC special money crap. I'm talking about my day trading stuff for the last 30 days. I am the greatest day trader on earth. Nobody's even been close to being able to read the stock market like I have. If you are, you're lying. And as soon as I get the resources to create my own order books, to manage or watch all order books across the market, calculate exactly the floats of what retail is versus institutional buying, calculate the call options and the put options, when they were bought, how much theta decay has gone to Citadel on the call side versus the put side. If it moves, how much do they lose? What stock price do they need by Friday for them to profit the most amount of money? When you get that kind of data, which really probably no one has but Citadel, that's when you could never lose because you know exactly where they're going to put the price. because they're always going to put the price wherever it makes them the most money. So I don't have the ability to do all that crap right now, and I don't need the ability to do all that crap right now. So we're going to win either way. I mean, AMC diamond handing has proved to be a strong enough momentum, strong enough push to where they can't stop it. They can delay it, they can hold it back, they can cheat, lie, and steal, but eventually they gotta show the true price. That much we've proven. And so since we've proven that, I know you guys aren't leaving if you haven't left already. If you didn't leave at 75, I know you're not leaving at 50, and I know you're not leaving at 60, and I doubt you're leaving at 100. So 2,000 sounds about like the right number to me, because that's where you guys were all at before all this crazy stuff started. Like right when this started, right when AMC got together, 2,000 was the number. And so I'm going to believe that still 50% of the people that started the whole movement are still looking for that $2,000 number. And as soon as that hits, maybe even a little bit before, me and my peeps are going to go do our own thing. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the church stuff. So we're going to do the church stuff. I'll probably listen to a couple songs, sing a couple songs, then we'll do the church stuff. Like the Jew, or the rather than saying the Jew stuff, I need to start saying the Old Testament stuff. Even though like the Jewish religion is the religion of the Old Testament, like that's all they believe in. Like, and so it's easy for me to point the light at them, especially because they're so rich and powerful. Elon Musk was raised a Jewish kid. Like, you guys got to understand, the religion of the Jew is not to be actually that religious. Like, the whole religion of the Jew is that there is, like, if God's real, he doesn't care about us, and it's up to us to figure out what he wants and to be his will and to make sure that all men are equal type thing. Like, and so they're chasing equity in the name of putting everybody in slavery. And so it's more about the Old Testament that I hate than anything else. And the Old Testament's seen in our criminal justice system. The Old Testament's seen in our education system. The Old Testament's seen in our religious systems, from the Jews to the Mormons to the Christians. Like, it doesn't matter. To the Muslims, it's all the same. They all, like, want to fight, scream, and yell. Ain't nobody actually loving nobody. I mean, the Mormons get close. The Mormons actually have a lot of people that love to serve and have a lot of great people. I'm sure other churches do. I just happen to meet the Mormons and know them. But, like, inside them, the other half were the worst people I've ever met. So I can, like, yeah, there's good and bad and all. And so, what else? Big business is all no different than the Old Testament. It's all the same. Like, keep the poor, make them slave to death. The rich get richer because no one could have done it without them. They all think they're so great, high and mighty. But there's literally not one thing a rich person has ever done on this planet that I can't do. Like, give me the challenge of what someone's doing that you think no other human being can do. And don't make it some physical feat neither. Like, if you want me to go beat Michael Phelps in swimming, maybe 5 years from now. But don't fucking ask me to do that today. Of course, that's going to take a lifetime of training like he gave it. But I'm talking about, like, if somebody's saying they're so smart, if somebody's saying they got a secret, if somebody's saying they can take over the world or make so much money or do something great for you, I can look at what anyone's doing and tell you exactly what they're really doing within a day or a week or a month. Like, ain't none of these people special. If they're talking about their brain being special, I promise you it's not, because I've looked for every opportunity. I've looked at everything, and they're all jokes. Like, do they know something? Yes, of course. Everybody knows something. Can it bring value to your life? If your life sucks already, probably. Could it bring value to my life? Absolutely not. I got some rtard. Look at this rtard. John McLaughlin. This guy's got to be one of the most mentally handicapped people that have ever contacted me. This guy right here. Top 50 guitarist all time on Forbes list. Like, he's got a site called Stock Trading. Come on. This guy's pathetic. This guy, I call him because he posts on Facebook and leaves a phone number. So I call it. I have no idea who he is. I didn't know he was a famous guy at all. He just says, hey guys, I'm a day trader. Here's my number. Call if you guys want to talk. So this is like 3 months ago. I call him about GameStop and AMC, telling him I just won a bunch of money on GameStop. And like, Like big things are about to happen in AMC, and so I'm trying to tell him about AMC and tell him he should buy in and all this other crap, right? Well, he like talks to me for about 30 minutes and then disappear and like doesn't really like what he like. I kind of like listens, and maybe I sold him on AMC, but he didn't really want to talk too much more. Calls me back weeks later. You know he had to have seen my YouTube. You know he had to see what I'm all about by this time. Calls me back, calls me the wrong name, acts like he's looking for somebody else. When I tell him he's got the wrong person, he just tries to start a conversation and act like he meant to call me anyways, and that he got the wrong number, he just forgot my name. And I'm like, okay, but then he acts like he doesn't remember any of our conversation, but then at the halfway mark of our conversation, he acts like he remembers everything. And so, like, this guy clearly was trying to get me to focus on his gay little day trading crap than to get me to focus on AMC. He wanted to distract me, I promise you. And he thought because he was so high and mighty and he's got such a great resume online that I would drop AMC back in April so I could talk to this guy and become his mentor. And yada, 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 right? And because I got 100 grand in my bank, he says, that's all you need. I'm going to make you a millionaire, bruh. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You called me. Like, you're either going to listen to my story or we're done with this conversation because I'm better than you. And I told him to it just like that. And I told him I was Jesus, and he says, ha, you can't say that. You can't really believe that. It's like, how could you say that? And I say, because Jesus is just the story of the man that went through so many obstacles and overcame enough of them that he finally saw what the truth and the wrong was in all things, and he just started choosing the right and led the rest of the world to do the same until we got 1,000 years of peace. And he's like, well, I guess that could make sense. Like, I see what you're saying, but like, everyone just can call you crazy. Are you sure you don't want to really learn how to make real money? Are you sure you don't want to learn the psychology of money? Like, fuck this pussy. I'ma fuck this bitch's money up quick. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. I know this guy's been working against me, and I'ma steal his motherfucking money. You think you're safe because you rich? You think you're safe because the world loves you? Ain't nobody safe from the God pill, and I'm going to execute Mutual of Omaha first to do it. I'm going to execute Mutual of Omaha first to do it, to prove that ain't none of you safe. Alright, let's listen. And amen. The Spirit of God, like a fire, is burning the latter day glory begins to come forth. The visions and blessings of old are returning, and angels are coming to visit the earth. We'll sing and we'll shout with the armies of heaven. Hosanna, Hosanna to God and the Lamb. Let glory to them in the highest be given, henceforth and forever. Amen and amen. The Lord is extending the saints' understanding. If you would just listen, you could hear God's words. I will show the way to truth, light, and happiness. I can show all of these things through actions, but you can only understand if you take the time to pray, act, and find your own success. Otherwise, you just pray to be a slave one day. For all those who do not maximize their potential will end up a dog or a fucking rat ass bitch. Yes, I'm talking to you, bitch. We'll call in our solemn assemblies in spirit to spread forth the kingdom of heaven abroad, that we through our faith may begin to inherit the visions and blessings and glories of our God. And we'll shout for a prophet to guide us in these latter days. Did anyone see my Einstein riddle video? This is the solution to Einstein's riddle, and it's something that all people should learn how to do, because if you can't do Einstein's riddle, you can't do shiz. And if you've done Einstein's riddle and you haven't done Einstein's distraction index, then you're only 1/10 the way there. If you've done Einstein's riddle and you've done Einstein's distraction index and you haven't, what would be next? Man, I mean, honestly, I think from there, like the next step's just too hard for most of you. From there, a lot of you have already taken the last step, but you never took the first 2 steps. The last step is being able to detach yourself from the world, from your family, from your expectations, from everything that weighs on you in this planet. You got to detach from it, run away, disappear. Don't go back until you got your own life figured out. Until you can make your own money, until you can build your own business, until you can do something where you know you don't need nobody, don't have nobody in your life. That's the way I see it. That's the way it needs to be. Any other way and you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're always going to have to compromise to make somebody happy. And if you ain't your best self yet, you ain't ready to compromise for them. Like, I can compromise in a moment, but I can't compromise in the goals, in the mission. Does that make sense? Like, I can be a little bit calmer. I can say my same things a little bit nicer, but I'm not going to change who I am. And so I got to find out who I am before I start hanging out with people. Otherwise, I'm going to become who they want me to be. And that's never the answer. It's never the answer. If they don't like you for you, then walk away. To lighten our mind with its rays, to eternal perfection, the honest and faithful will go, while they who reject this glad message shall never such happiness know. I love this song. Savior, may I learn to love thee, walk the path that thou hast shown, pause to help and lift another, finding strength beyond my own. Savior, may I learn to love thee, Lord. I would follow thee. Who am I to judge another when I walk imperfectly? In the quiet heart is hidden sorrow that the eye can't see. Who am I to judge another, Lord? I would follow thee. I would be my brother's keeper. I would learn the healer's art. To the wounded and the weary I would show a gentle heart. I would be my brother's keeper, Lord. I would follow thee. Savior, may I love my brother as I know thou lovest me. Find in thee my strength, my beacon, for thy servant I will be. Savior, may I love my brother, Lord. I will follow thee. This one's a good one too. Come follow me, the Savior said, then let us in his footsteps tread, for thus alone can we be one with God's own loved begotten Son. Come follow me, a simple phrase, yet true, sublime, effulgent rays are in these simple words combined to urge, inspire the human mind. Is it enough alone to know that we must follow him below? this veil of tears. No, this extends to holier spheres. Not only shall we emulate his course while in this earthly state, but when we're freed from present cares, if with our Lord we would be heirs. Great song. All right. What I'm going to go over right now, I feel like we kind of went over the Old Testament stuff versus New Testament stuff. The New Testament is just understanding that like the Old Testament is not evil in the sense of practicality, I guess is the right word. But if God lives, if forgiveness is real, then anyone practicing the Old Testament is less close to God than the rapists, the murderers, the pedophiles, the thieves, the Satan worshipers themselves, the ones that praise Satan just to make everyone else hate them. They are closer to God than the people practicing the Old Testament. That I swear to you. And I am here for those people and nobody else. I am here for those people and nobody else. The only people that will be able to join after that are the people that understand who we're really fighting for. Like if you don't need me right now, I ain't never coming back for you. But if you need somebody right now, if you're saying prayers every freaking day because you hate this life and you're wondering when it's time for you to check out, this channel is the proof that it's not time yet. It's not time yet. Blessings are coming. The ones with power will be the ones in fear. The ones in fear will be the ones with hope. In heaven we thank thee this day for loving guidance to show us the way. Grateful we praise thee with songs of delight. Gladly we'll walk in the light. This next song's even better. Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what our God has done. Count your many blessings, you will see it's true. God has blessed us and it can be true. If you listen to the still small voice, in your heart you will find your peace. You will find money, power, and joy. All these things can exist without Satan's something. Count your many blessings if you've ever felt the burden of life that feels so heavy and worthless. But you will see through the blessings that when times get hard, it makes the better times that much better. We can only have the joy if you went through the strife and pain. For the way of the Jews and the Old Testament want everyone to have equity except the rich. They believe that they are God's will, and so they must enslave everyone and give a little bit. For the little for all is the only way they can see 1,000 years of peace for everybody. For they divide us by color, money, and sex. They want us to hate and fight about everything. But really, it's only the rich versus the poor. I will show you how to become rich, but much more. So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will attend. Help and comfort give you to your journey's end. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what I have done. Why does Suncor Financial and Mutual of Omaha suck donkey dick? Why does the math prove unequivocally that you can be turn $1 million into $1 billion by undercutting the Mutual of Omaha IUL plan? What else are we going to answer here? Things to remember that we must beat for you to make your billion. Mike Castle is a mother effing loser, everybody. His name is Mike Castle. Mike Castle. Please, everyone know this guy's a horrible human being, and he should not be allowed to talk to anybody that is worth a damn. I'm great, John Chimpo. I'm just exposing the world's lies, one lie at a time, like I do. You know how I do. Anyone that says, hey, Godpill, how you doing today? Acting like they know me. They know all I do is expose the lies of the machine constantly. And because I happened to create this lie and they didn't perfect it before, like it wasn't a lie. Like I created something that was better than everything else, but like I knew there was a way to make it better. And everyone's like, nah, let's just make money. And I'm like, fuck you guys. And so it became a lie. And I'm about to expose the fuck out of it. Things to remember that we must beat for you to make your $1 billion. You must beat in 100% lookbacks, historical lookbacks, the Warren Buffett rule of 10% SP 500 low expense ratio plans. You must beat. I don't know why it says beast. You must beat the Vanguard The Vanguard 0.03% expense ratio, which charges $500 a year to manage 1 million portfolio. And then make your life insurance equal to or less than everyone else in the industry. You can always be equal to, because their numbers are just based off actuaries debating or like calculating the average age people are going to live based off their health class. And as long as you do these things right here and then just finish the product. So the answer, what's the answer? The answer of how to turn your 1 million. Now guys, if I do a Moass and I send every stock to 0, this will fail too. So obviously I don't believe in this, and I'm not going to take $1 million, and I'm not going to do this because I do not believe in the stock market, and I don't think the stock market will be around long term. I think the stock market goes away forever when we're down to one currency. And so maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. We'll see. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not throwing money at this because this sounds like a waste of freaking time because I think I'm sending it all to 0. So the answers to turn your 1 million into 1 billion looks something like building a variable universal life policy. Variable universal life policy, okay? That's all it is. Now you're going to take what I teach you in the math of what I'm about to show you, and you're going to prove 100% unequivocally that this is way better than anything, and you're going to say Godpill's wrong about the stock market, but he's right about this, so I'm going to take my $1 million and put Mutual of Omaha out of business by proving that freaking scam artists just stealing everybody's money right now. And there's no justification for it other than they don't understand what they're selling, and it should require that you have a Series 666 or 667 license, whatever they're freaking called. I know there's like 5 of them, but you should have those in order to sell this product because they are creating immense risk inside the policy. And unless you have a real plan and a real advisor, you can ruin your retirement plan doing this. But if you have a real plan, if you have a real advisor, this plan comes out better than everybody by double, triple, or quadruple. Let me show you the math. So first, let's see the math of the Warren Buffett rule. What is the Warren Buffett rule, you ask, and what does it project? Well, he says if you invest in the S&P 500 and you keep buying the dips and all this other stuff, you will likely get 10%. And he can say that with confidence because any look back you look at, it happens. Like sometimes we hit 12%, 13%. So like his 10% is just take 10%, find a low expense ratio. Life is good. Just go work, save money. You'll have a couple $1 million by the time you're ready to retire. John Chimpo, everything I've learned, I taught myself. So basically, I knew nothing about nothing until I was 18. I left and I started selling door-to-door Dish Network Direct TV. There, I learned how to make $1,000 a week any week I wanted to work. And so, like, life got a little less hard after I learned how to sell stuff door-to-door. Then I found roofing, and I actually learned how to make $10,000 a week. And so life started getting a little easier. And, like, I started getting more confidence. So then I went to the life insurance industry. I took their software, and for 6 months, all I did was build illustrations because I wanted to be the best retirement planner on the planet. And in order to be the best retirement planner, you got to know what everyone else is doing and make sure your product's the best. I was prepared to leave life insurance if I found out something was better. But I found the IUL, and the math I came up with was better than the Warren Buffett rule. So I figured I was the new best. And then I found out how to make that better, but everyone was so stuck on my old information that they couldn't pull their head out their ass. And so basically, I didn't know everything about everything before. But after you learn everything about like 5 different things on this world, from roofing to life insurance to options to like basic math, like all of a sudden everything else you see just starts being little indicators of that. And like, maybe I'm still wrong about a couple things, but man, I'm right about so many things. All right. Warren Buffett rule says this. We're going to do years, investment, ROI, fees, end of year balance. So this would be 1. This equals 1 plus 1. And then we'll bring this down. And let's just create a we'll do it. Let's just see. We'll start with that. All right, we're going to say this person invests $10,000 a year, every year. Because I believe any human being that's actually trying in life could do that. And we're going to do it for 30 years. And then we're going to see if somebody saves for 30 years, how many years can they retire at what income? And we'll compare it to this, Curtis's plan, and then my plan. And basically, the ROI for this is, let's just say like 10%. We'll do what Warren Buffett actually says. He says don't count on more than 10%, but he thinks 10% is fair. Perfect. Then the fee we already know is 0.0003. And then the end of year balance. So it equals the 10,000 plus this times the ROI minus, okay, hold on. So this is profit plus net, then end of year. So that, because the end of year doesn't get charged a fee until after it makes the $1,000. So end of year balance, which would equal the 11,000 minus the 11,000 times the 0.03%. Boom. Then the investment is going to equal 10,000 plus what we had from the end of year balance last year. Now I should be able to drag this bad boy down. Well, I think I'm going to have to drag this bad boy down first. Then I can drag this bad boy down. Bada bing, bada boom. Alrighty. Clearly something's going wrong here. And it's this. It's okay. There we go. Alright, let's make this $1. Okay. Now we add a loan feature or a withdraw feature. Withdraw amount. And we're going to say and this is going to equal minus the withdraw amount. And let's just say this equals, let's do the, so if we're making 10% a year, let's go ahead and assume, like, because I hate when people try to show max retirement plans of potential and they're showing you 30 years of potential, but they're having it grow faster than what you're taking it out. Like, if I'm a person and I didn't have any kids and I just want to have the best retirement, like, that's the first step. If somebody wants to talk about their kids and college and all these other things after, we can talk about that after. But right now we're talking about your retirement, F everybody else. And so I want to know exactly, Like, what's the most you'll be able to take out of the plan I just sold you if you're planning to have 0 left by the time you hit 95 years old because you know you're going to die at 95? Like, let's just have that be in the head, right? So if you're 60 years old at 30, then at, let's in this example just say 75 because you feel like you're unhealthy. And I just want to show one example, right? So basically the withdrawal amount, let's just say $250,000 a year. And let's see what happens. Pull this down. And boom. I'm basically right on the nose. Right at 75, you'd be out of money. Right at 75 years old, if you retired at 60 with $2 million in your account, you'd be able to take out $250,000 every single year if you kept making 10% a year, and which is no reason you should assume you shouldn't. And so, like, a lot of people will tell you that you're supposed to downgrade to the 4% rule after this. If you were investing in the S&P 500 from the beginning, you should have never downgraded to bonds. Like, stay in the S&P 500, especially if it dipped for the last 3-4 years. Like, it doesn't make sense to pull out. Obviously, in the AMC world and this new speculative market of Moasses and different things, things are different. But in the old world, like, anyone that like was planning to live to 75, this should have been what your retirement plan looked like. $10,000 a year for 30 years at 10% growth, 0.03% fee, and you would be able to take out $250,000 a year for 15 straight years. What a great retirement plan. What a great retirement plan. Now let's take a look at what Curtis's plan projects. Basically, this is your 401k right here. This is what Warren Buffett wants you to do with your 401k. What the Mutual of Omaha Suncor financial plan is, let's take a look. So basically, because of their fees and the way that it works, I'm going to add one more column here, and it's going to be life insurance. So basically, your end of your balance is going to say certain numbers, but it's going to be like a total lie, and so you shouldn't really count on it. And so the numbers are going to look off, but the income is going to look accurate, is all I'm going to say. So basically, he can prove a 12% net ROI with like a no-fee amount, right? And so basically, he has life insurance that he's selling, and you'll start out with $100,000, and then you'll get this plus $100,000 basically every year or every other year, all depending on your age and health and different things. So, I don't know. So, the advantage of Curtis's plan is that you're going to get a 12% ROI on average per year. You're going to get $100,000 of life insurance, and almost every year get more life insurance. And so by the time you hit your retirement, you're not just withdrawing $250,000 a year, because you got a lot more money than what you got from the other one. So now you can do, let's see if $350,000 a year works for every year. We can do more than that. So let's see if $500,000 a year works. Okay, so $500,000 a year doesn't work. Neither is $450,000. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So one thing to understand is it says $400,000 a year of withdrawal income, where the other one was $250,000, so it's way higher. Now you got millions and millions of dollars of life insurance when you die on top of that. So you have cash balance, you have millions of dollars of life insurance, you have massive retirement income greater than the Warren Buffett plan. And this is like basically the Curtis Ray plan. And it's a pretty good plan. It's better than what the rest of the world's doing. But when I tell him how he can do it better and he says, fuck that, I'm making money. Ooh, I don't relate with that person. That sounds like a Jew to me. And I ain't going to be friends with that kind of person. So here is what we're looking at, people. Basically, my brother's going around offering numbers like this, and I don't think they won't hit. I think they will hit. Based off any last 100 years, they would have hit, right? And for the last 7 years, I've been saying this is the best long-term retirement plan out there. John Thompson is laughing at 10K a year. I don't know if he's saying that's nothing or a lot, but for 10K a year to turn into $400,000 of retirement income a year, any way you write it up, his comment is pathetic to have, and he's a pathetic human being. So we're going to ban John from the chat because anyone that just laughs at that is clearly a pathetic human being. He's either laughing at you for only being able to save 10K a year, or he's laughing saying that 10K can make the 400,000 a year. And either way, he's wrong and he's the fucking fool. Like, he's a moron, and he probably works for Curtis, honestly. Josh Thompson, I'll have to see if he works for Curtis. So check this out, people. Check this out. So basically what Curtis does is Curtis comes here, and because the average expense ratio is between 1 to 2%, he'll put it at 1.5%, and then he'll bring this 1.5% down for the entire illustration, and then he'll say, oh, see? You can only do 1, 2, 3. He'll come here and say you can only do 100. Oh, no, more than 100. Let's say 150. 150,000 maybe. More than that, so it's probably 175. Oh, that's 1 point. Okay. And so on his plan, so he's showing that this plan can only do 175 because he's showing like the Warren Buffett rule, probably 9% instead of 10, but also a higher expense ratio. So he's not really comparing it to what people should be doing, which would be a fair comparison rather than his comparison of what people do because they're mentally handicapped. The average person just takes the 401k from their client, from their employers. The average employer's 401k expense ratio is 1 to 2%. And so you guys are paying literally 100 times more for the same type of investment style as what the Vanguard S&P 500 would do for you. And so it makes absolutely no sense. If anything, you should put the money in an IRA and just invest it on your own. And the expense ratio too would be much, much smaller. And so he's coming here and he's comparing worst case scenario on the left side to his best case scenario, or maybe even average case scenario. And it basically shows that he's going around saying he can do 250 to 300% better than the 401ks. I look at the math, and it's not that he's lying, right? He's not necessarily lying. Do you want to call it a lie? Probably not, because it is happening. He can beat other people's 401ks by that. But now let's see. So this is of the Mutual of Omaha plan. Now let's see what it should have been. What would it happen if you built a VUL, and would you be able to put this to shame? And my answer is unequivocally, absolutely, unbelievably yes. So badly. Let's see the math of the VUL. Okay, so the first thing on the math of the VUL, guess what? Your life insurance, if I'm only doing $10,000 a month, my life insurance, I only got to buy $100,000 one time. So in this plan right here, let me do this real quick. In this plan right here, your $100,000 of life insurance is what allows you to invest $10,000 a year. Okay, if you bought $1 million of life insurance, you could do $100,000 a year. But because you only bought $100,000 of life insurance, you can only do $10,000 a year. And about 10% of it goes to life insurance, and the other 90% goes to your accumulation account, your retirement account. And then your life insurance actually gets pretty cheap. And so in this example with the IUL, the only way in this example, anyone can save $10,000 a year. Go work 60 hours a week. Save $10,000 a year. Like, your wife can get a part-time job. I understand you got kids and shit. I understand life gets hard. But if $10,000 a year can turn into a $200,000 a year retirement plan, like, you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way. Most people don't start saving until retirement until they're 30 or 40. So if you're younger than that, like, you shouldn't be worried about nothing yet. You got lots of time. Lots and lots of time. So But in our world, none of this matters. This only matters in the world where you guys think that humans are right about stuff, where you think that the humans are trying to help you, where you think these rich people are on your side, where you think that they're trying and they just aren't as good as you'd like them to be. But really, they're not trying. They're only trying to hurt you, and it's what I'm trying to prove to you right now. So don't think of this in terms of starting your own retirement plan. It's the last thing I'm telling you to do. Like, buy AMC if you're worried about retirement. But, check this out. So, when you buy this $100,000 life insurance plan, of this $10,000, the commissions and the insurance is going to charge you $7,500 roughly. So, you're going to keep $2,500. Well, guess what? If I want to invest $20,000 the next year, $10,000 of a loan and $10,000 put in, now this one's going to cost me $7,500 as well. And then $7,500 as well. Now, to be fair, Curtis does it every other year, so it would be like this would equal this, and then that would equal that, and then this would equal this, and then basically it would look more like this. That's not exactly right. Let's see. This would, okay, boom, boom, and then this. Maybe it's like this. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So basically, the second year, you don't get charged. The first year, you get charged $7,500. The second year, you keep the life insurance the same. They need you to build up some cash value. Then the third year, they're going to bump your life insurance up to $200,000 and charge you another $7,500. Then the next year, let you invest that $10,000, let it all go to the cash value. The next year, they bump you up to $300,000 of life insurance. They charge you another $7,500. And then another, so when I accuse them of not following the Vanguard specialty of eliminating the fees out of their products, this is the proof that they are not eliminating the fees and that really they just want to sell you more life insurance so that they make more money. Where if they create a VUL, you would be able to invest the same amount of cash out of your pocket, invest the same amount in proportion to the bond versus the option, start making, instead of 12%, because we're not doing the $7,500 for the first 10 years of fees, instead of 12% average annual ROI, we get closer to 17% average annual ROI based off any historical look back when you make the numbers super conservative. Okay? You can make this a VUL tomorrow and they couldn't stop you. You'd be able to withdraw maybe even $1 million a freaking year. And you only had to pay $7,500 one freaking time. I can do more than $1 million, people. See, $2.5 million maybe? Nope. $2 million? So saving $10,000 a year for 30 years, I'd be able to take out about $1.5 million every single year. Almost $1.5 million. So we'll just say 1.25. That's fine. It's a lot. Saving $300,000 a year or $300,000 over 30 years in this plan that just is a simple bond to option plan. You'd make an average 17% annual ROI. You never got to buy more than $100,000 of life insurance, but your life insurance is always your death benefit plus your cash value. So you actually have millions and millions of dollars of life death benefit. And when life death benefit gets paid to your family, it's tax free. You can't get sued for this money. Anything in a life insurance policy, you can't be sued for. And you're making like literally $1.25 million over the Warren Buffett rule of what it was, $250,000. You're making 6 times more than the Warren Buffett rule. You're literally eliminating all the fees like Vanguard did. And it is the most closest thing to indexing, but doing it with options. And it proves on any historical look back, just like the Warren Buffett's rule, that it is bulletproof. God damn. If that don't put a dagger in Mutual of Omaha, nothing can. Like, you guys are just too pathetic to listen, I guess. And basically, the last thing I'll show is what's the difference. Why can I do 100,000 here, and why do I got to buy millions of life insurance over here? It's because in order for you to invest $20,000, like what you're doing is you're putting in $10,000 this time. They're going to take their 7,500. You put in the 10,000 the next time, so we have the 21,196 minus the 7,500, and then on this next time when you put in this 10,000, you're going to take $10,000 from your cash value out as a loan and then put it back in. And what it does is, let me show you what the loan feature looks like in compared to the VUL. So IUL with loan feature, and then VUL, no loan feature needed. And that's the difference. That's why we don't need the extra life insurance. So basically with the loan feature, the way the IUL works is 95% goes to a bond. So actually, let's do this. It would be blank times blank equals, we'll just do 95 and 5. So there's a way to get the right percentage to where it's actually legit. This isn't going to be perfectly legit. But basically, if I put 95% of my money into a bond, so we'll just say 0.95. I got 1.00 is my full account, right? 1 is my account. So 0.95 is going one place and 0.05 is going another place. This is a standard IUL without a loan. Without loan. And basically, what's going to happen is this 0.95 is going to get a times 1.05 because they're going to put this into a bond. So they're going to take 95% of your money and they're going to put it in a bond so it gets 5% return. And now you're basically back to exactly, and they're going to give you this last 2 10,000ths of money. So like you get back to exactly what you had. You get back to your 1. So this equals this. So they take 95% of your money, they put it into a bond, they take this 5% and they buy a 1-year option where they buy a contract, buy at the money and sell 12% out of the money. What does that mean? Let's take a look. So they're going to come here. They have sweep accounts. So the first time you give them their money, they wait for the right time to be able to buy in and offer exactly what they told you they're going to offer. But basically, they'll come to the SPY. They'll go to select option and they'll look for a 1-year to expire option. And so that would look like a January 21st, 2022. Oh, no. We're looking for June. So right here, June 17th is the closest we're going to find to a 1-year to expire option. And what they're going to do is they're going to come here. They're going to say, okay, we're going to buy at the money. So we're going to buy, which is the bid or the ask price, which is $27.36. And then they're going to come here and they're going to sell 12% out of the money. So what's 12%? Well, we take 427 times that by 0.12 plus 427 and we get 478. And so they come to 478 or the closest thing to it. And let's just say 475 and they're going to sell for 475. This is going to be a right. So now we got a buy and a right and now we calculate. Now, what do we have? We know that we're actually risking $2,111 in this debit spread. So the most we can lose is $2,111. So what I want to do is I want to know it 2,100, so equals 2,111 divided by 0.05, and boom. I know that if my account balance is, if I have invested into my IUL $42,220, then I go 0.95, times that by 0.95, and then times this by 0.05, and boom. We see that in order to do this IUL plan, my client needs to have $42,220. So what they'll do is they'll take 5 different people that invested in the IUL and make sure that all their money adds up to one perfect contract of one contract there, and now they're all in the same plan. And life's good. Like, nothing matters to them from there on. So as long as they got enough clients, they can bring them all together and buy contracts together. So you don't necessarily have to have 42,000 for them to start, because they're just going to bundle you guys all up. But basically, $42,220 is what's needed to do this one time, and $40,000 would go into the bond. $2,111 would go into the option. The $40,000 is going to make all the money back for the $42,220, and then the $2,111 has the potential to make a net of $4,800, counting what we invested, right? So if we're looking at $4,800, and we know that we started with $42,220 was our starting investment of the year, but at the end of the year we got back to the $42,220 in the bond, but we also got the $4,800 from the option net. Then I can say, okay, what does $4,800 divided by the $42,000 equal? And we're going to get a decimal a percent of 11%. So you made 11% on your money over the year of your $42,000. You made 11% on that money. Does that make sense? So that's why the IUL is called a 0 to 11% floor, because you're always going to get your money back. And then right here, as it starts to go up, if the market goes up 1%, you get 1% of the 5% you put in. If it goes up 5%, you break even. If it goes up 11%, you hit your maximum of $4,800. Anything above that, you just get the $4,800. It's a debit spread. That's how they work. And so what we got to understand is, in order for the IUL plan in Mutual of Omaha to work, you have to start using the loan feature. It's the only way to make it more than different than 95% and 5%. And that's where the value of the MPI plan comes from. They call it good leverage. And I wouldn't call it bad leverage. I think it's a great leverage. But the way that they build the leverage is super expensive, super dumb. Like a completely opposite of what Vanguard would have done. Completely opposite of what anyone that's transparent would have done. And so I got to expose it for what it is. And basically what's going to happen is, let's just say you invested $100,000 into this plan. And let's say that over the course of loans and over 20 years of them building your plan, that you have, let's say, cash. So we have cash value. We have total cash value. So we have actual cash value, total cash value, and then loan value. So if actual cash value, let's just say, is $250,000, because we're making money every year, even though we're paying fees and all this stuff, we're still making a decent amount of money on our options. Total cash value, let's say, is $500,000, which would make the loan value $250,000. So what's happening in this scenario? Well, they built this out over 20 years, charging you $7,500 every other year. And now you got your $250,000 cash value you could take out and buy a house with, or just leave it in there for retirement. But you also got a loan value of $250,000. So what does this mean? What this means is $250,000 of your actual cash value is going to be in the bond. So this is going to grow at the, times that by 1.05. So you got 26,500 right there, 26,000 $262,500 right there. Your actually, hold on. Before I can do this, actually, I got to calculate the loan first. So basically, we want to know how much is going to the options. So I know this, the actual cash value times 0.05 is going to go to the options. And then I know the loan value times 0.05 is going to go to the options. And then I know that this minus what we put in from the loan value is only the cash value that's going to go to the bond. And then I can times that by the 1.05 for the bond. Okay, so as we can see, by having the loan value take out the same amount as the 5% coming from the actual cash value, which is a 50-50 ratio, you will see that you've lost $625. And if both these lose all their money, because they either both make money or they both lose money, if they lose all their money, then we end up with a net loss for the year. Okay? If this was $1 million and you had $750,000 of loan value and $250,000 of actual cash value, let's see what that looks like. Boom. Now you drop from $250,000 to $223,125. And so I believe the MPI plan does say that they plan to get you to this ratio. Like in the first 10, 15, 20 years, their goal is to get you to a 25 to 75% ratio, actual cash value to loan value. And basically, if we look at this, then on the down years, how much are you losing? This, the change in percent is the new price minus the old price divided by the old price. And you are losing 10.75%. So on the down years of the S&P 500, you'd lose 11%. But what happens if it goes up 11%? Now we got 12,513. So we'll do equals this plus this. And then we know this equals this plus this times 1.27, because we know we make 127% based off the graph that we're looking at right here. And so we take the total amount invested. We know we're making 127%. And basically we go from, instead of, we invested $50,000 into the portfolio, into the option. It will make $113,000. And so if we add the $113,000 plus the $223,000 of what the bond was going to make, now we can do the same formula of new price minus old price divided by old price, and see that we are either, if we're either saying that the S&P is going to do 0% or 11%, then we know that we will either lose 11% that year or make 35% on our money that year. Pretty great deal if you ask me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Except we don't have to charge the $7,500 year after year after year. You don't have to wait 15 years to get to the 75-25 ratio. Instead, year one on the VUL, year one. So actually we'll do year two, right? So let's do this. Year one, and we invest $10,000. They're still going to charge you your $7,500. So you're going to have $2,500 left over, and they're going to do some stupid little surrender charge thing. But then year two, you're going to have $12,500. And if you have this set up to put, what is this? You have this set up right now to take 25% of your balance into, so 50,000 of the 250,000 is 1/5, which is 20%. So you have set up to take 20% of your account balance into the option and 80% into the bond portfolio. On a VUL, I can create 100 different plans where you can choose 90 and 10, 20 and 80, 75 and 25. And I'll show you all the numbers. I'll show you in bad market scenarios which one they do, in good market scenarios which one they do. And if you do that and you build that simple little illustration device that shows a long-term plan based off the Warren Buffett historical analysis of indexing on the S&P 500, you will see that this pays 6 times more than the Warren Buffett rule. You will see that it will put Mutual of Omaha out of business, which is a billion-dollar company, for lying and stealing from everyone and not perfecting a plan that they had because they were greedy about the commissions. Whew! Domination, people. That is what you call domination. Domination. Chris Morrison, get out of here. I ain't here for you, you bitch-ass motherfucker. Jake from State Farm, I'm going to cancel your life. Tobin Pletter says, you are funny. Ha, ha, ha. Do you like pickles? Blah, blah. You're clearly a bit too. You are all pathetic human beings. You are all jealous of your Lord and Savior, and you all are fucking mocking me and spitting on me because you wish you were like me. But you will never be like me because I am only coming to save the poor and the helpless. All those that think they don't need me will get crushed until they become the poor and helpless and beg for God to save them. That is the world that's coming. I cannot be stopped. I am smarter and better than the Fortune 500 companies. And the next thing I'm going to go over is solar, and prove that every solar company is a big-ass motherfucking scam, just like the rest of y'all. John Chimpo, if you're saving $5K a year, I just showed you how $10K a year can do freaking $1.25 million of freaking retirement. Now, $5K a year, that means it does $600,000 a year of retirement. So, $5K a year, $1K a year, all of it saves more and makes more than anybody making $200K a year and saving 10% of it and doing the Warren Buffett rule. So stop with this like negative mindset you have in your head. You sound like a broke bitch, and that's what makes you a broke bitch. Like, stop feeling like people are holding you down. The only person holding you down is yourself. And you don't fucking see it. I show you $10,000 a year makes $1.2 million, and you cry about that, saying you can only save $5, which obviously means you'd have $600,000 a year. Like, shut the fuck up. There's a pussy-ass logic you people got. I'm sick of it. I don't care if you respect me or not. I still don't respect you people. I'm not going to respect you until you start listening and stop bitching. I am showing you the truth and nobody else has it. You act like everyone's trying to hold you down and they know what's right. No, they're only holding you down because they know they're making money and like it's too hard for them to think about new stuff. And so they don't have the answers of the good stuff. I mean, maybe they do now after I yelled at them about it a bunch of times. But they didn't know it. They didn't understand it like I understand it. So it's not like they're smart and powerful and like just impossible to beat. No, they're mentally handicapped. They only do enough. They never go past the point they need to go. I think Tesla won't drop until after 1,000. Tesla's going to hit 1,000 before it starts dropping. At least 1,000 before it starts dropping. Tesla is the options to buy, people. If you want options for the next, like September options, deep out of the money, $1,000 strike, those will make 50, 100x on their money. And it's going to hit before September, that's for sure. Meet Kevin is guaranteed that. I think it hits next week, honestly. Yeah, the next thing that I want to go over is the next thing I want to go over is solar. So we're going to go over all the solar math and prove that solar is the scam of the century before the market scam of this last 2020 bullcrap and the lockdowns and COVID. Solar and global warming were the scam of the century. Now COVID, health, and all this BS is the new scam, but that's okay. We're gonna stop it all. Oh, I love this song. As now we take the sacrament, our thoughts are turned to thee. Forgiveness is a gift from thee, we seek with pure intent. Guys, Christ is not the person that died, literally. Christ is the person that died like every other damn soul on this planet and is never going to be forgiven and is just meant to wander this earth to misery. And Christ is the one that took his agency into his own hands and overcame that worldly death. And now if I can be forgiven, if I can prove that I have generosity and kindness in my heart for the people that need it most, then all people can be forgiven, and that's the promise I offer to the world. If I win, everybody that's ever lost has the chance to redeem themselves. That's the guarantee. It does not matter what you've done. Pedophile, murderer, rapist, thief, what is worse than that? Like, I mean, there's only one thing that the Bible says will be burned in hell forever. One type of person. The person who sees, meets, and knows God and denies him anyways. Nobody knows yet that I am that person. But when it is clear and obvious, that will be your last chance. When you know and you deny, you will be written on a list forever and ever, and you will never be forgiven. God will condemn you. I can't say you'll never be forgiven, because as long as you do the right things to be forgiven, anyone can be forgiven. That's for sure. Feel my Savior's love and all the world around me. Spirit warms my soul through everything. I think nothing of DPLS. Tesla and AMC is all I care about right now. I'm not interested in anything else. This is not a stock channel, people. Please do not confuse my channel with the stock channel. It was never meant to be that. I only came here for GameStop and AMC. You guys effed up GameStop, and then you effed up AMC, and so I almost left them, and I almost went straight to my Jesus stuff only. But I decided to give you guys another chance. I shouldn't say one more because I've given you many. But I decided to give you another chance to make the money. Because I'm going to make the money one way or the other. So I'm trying to give you guys a chance, for the people that are listening, the people that will pay attention and see that I'm right about everything. Trying to give you a chance to make the money with me. But I got very, very, very little patience for all of you coming in here asking questions about stuff I don't care about. Very little patience. Is filled with peace. He knows our will. Good for you, Bayazi, but that's like still like some weak ass shit to say in my comments. Like, you realize I bought in. I had a 10,000 shares at $7 a share. And, like, I moved all of that money at one point to my 2023's, 2023 $40 strikes. Granted, I saw opportunities, I took them and all this crazy stuff. But, like, all the people that I told, like, if you can't lose your money, that's the best spot to put your money. Had you been following since then and you done the same thing, you would have 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 times as much as you have right now today. And so, again, you're coming in here like you one of us, but you ain't one of us yet. And so it sounds like you got a lot of fucking learning to do, and you act like buying stock and holding is the way, and it's never been the way. And it's really just like you're the bottom of the barrel of the movement that made this shit happen. I don't care what time you bought. I don't care what price you bought. I bought first AMC at $13 a share, GME at $200 a share, averaged down to GME at $50 a share, and AMC at freaking $7 a share. I had 1,000 GME at the end of it, 10,000 AMC at the end of it. They both freaking boomed. I made millions of dollars, and I freaking went all in on options from there because it was never about the freaking money. It was about the Moass. And you guys fucked the Moass, and it pisses me off. Ah, you fucked the Moass. We had the Moass in our hands, and you fucked it. My vacation was great, Anonymous. Thank you for asking or saying that. It was great. I haven't been to the beach in like 12 months, so that was... Oh, it was great. Actually, that's not... Well, maybe even longer than that, actually. Huh. I think Jamaica was the last time I've been to the beach. Alright, I'm about to go over the solar stuff soon. I feel my Savior's love. Alright, Bayazi, get the fuck out of here, pussy! Don't ever come back. I'm gonna burn your money soon. The day of salvation, I am your Lord and Savior. If you don't see this, then you are not looking or mentally challenged, or Satan fucks you in your ass and your heart has been poisoned like that Jonah guy on that movie called The Last Day of the Rapture, where the demon comes in his bed. You are no different than that bitch who turns on his friends and family. You're all fucking pussies, and I am your God. Now that we can see the truth and glorious righteousness, and it has nothing to do with words, money, or fame. It is all about the truth and the light from one person who went through the trials, so the world could finally learn. Now that he is promised, and finally here, you all can shut the fuck up and just open your ears. For I am the truth and the light of our God, and everything else on this planet is fucking bullshit. We'll rely on the arm of Jehovah to guide through these last days of trouble and gloom. And after the scourges and the harvest are over, we'll rise with the just when the Savior doth come. And all that was promised, the saints will be given, and they will be crowned with the angels of heaven. And earth will appear as the Garden of Eden. KO3 says, look at this clown, he deletes everyone's messages. Not before I read them and call and show why you guys are mentally retards. I read every message, retard. Everyone can watch the video and see what they said. I just never want you in my life, you fucking retard. My life's great. And so I kick people out of it that try to make it not great. You guys are so desperate to have someone love you, you're scared to get rid of everybody. I will kick every goddamn one of you to the fucking curb. I don't need none of you. Everything you need to know about so what? Oh, how lovely was the morning, radiant beamed the sun above. Bees were humming, sweet birds singing, music ringing through the grove. When within the shady woodland, Joseph sought the God of love. When within the shady woodland Joseph sought the God of love, humbly kneeling, sweet appealing, 'twas the boy's first uttered prayer. When the powers of sin assailing filled his soul with deep despair, but undaunted still he trusted in his heavenly Father's care. But undaunted still he trusted in his heavenly Father's care. W24 is a bitch ass pussy. Doesn't know I got more money than he does right now today. Light day sun and a shining glorious pillar. Hey, just so we're clear, you guys can pretend my brother for the first time in his life reached out to me and thought my life was hard and offered me $10,000 out of the graciousness of his heart. But let's be honest, he called and offered me $10,000 thinking I just wanted some money I could go trade and like I would stop attacking the IUL or MPI or Mutual of Omaha. Like when motherfuckers offer you money that have been telling you they don't owe you shit for a decade, it's because they're fucking scared. I ain't need nothing from nobody. While appeared to heavenly beings, God the Father and the Son. While appeared to heavenly beings, God the Father and the Son. Joseph, this is my beloved. Hear him, oh, how sweet the word. Joseph's humble prayer was answered, and he listened to the Lord. Oh, what rapture filled his bosom, for he saw the living God. When I discovered the Moass potential the first time 2 years ago, it felt like I was having a heart attack for 3 days straight. Like it felt like my heart was pounding at 100 miles per hour. I went to the doctor. They wouldn't give me nothing to calm me down. They like listened to my heart. They said it's not pumping fast. It's pumping slow actually for most people. And so like for whatever reason, this feeling inside your chest, it hurts. Like it's scary. It's almost scary. But then like it went away, and since then I've been chasing it, and I found it a couple times, and every time it's when I'm doing what I need to be doing and I start winning and all the good things. Hold on. I want to sing this song first. A poor wayfaring man of grief hath often crossed me on my way, who sued so humbly for relief that I could never answer nay. I had no power to ask his name, where to he went, came. Yet there was something in his eye I knew not what, I knew not why. Once when my scanty meal was spread, he entered, not a word he spake, just perishing for want of bread. Him all he blessed, it brake and ate, but gave me part again. Mine was an angel's portion then, for while I fed with eager haste, the crust was manna to my taste. I spied him where a fountain burst clear from the rock. His strength was gone, the heedless water mocked his thirst. He heard it, saw it hurrying on. I ran and raised the sufferer up. Thrice from the stream he drained my cup, dipped and returned it running over. I drank and never thirsted more. 'Twas night, the floods were out, it blew a winter hurricane aloof. I heard his voice abroad and flew to bid him welcome to my roof. I warmed and clothed and cheered my guest and laid him on my couch to rest, then made the earth my bed and seemed in Eden's garden while I dreamed. Stripped, wounded, beaten, nigh to death, I found him by the highway side. I roused his pulse, brought back his breath, revived his spirit and supplied wine, oil, refreshment. He was healed, had myself, I had myself a wound concealed, but from that I forgot. That one's hard to sing. I was off on that. In prison I saw him next, then to me tired of lying tongues, I stand and honored him mid shame and scorn. My friendship's utmost zeal to try, he asked if I for him would die. The flesh was weak, my blood ran chill, but my free spirit cried, I will. In a moment to my view the stranger started from disguise. The tokens in his hands, I knew the Savior stood before mine eyes. He spake in my poor name, he named of me, Marcus Ray hast not been ashamed. These deeds shall thy memorial be. Fear not, thou didst them unto me. Guys, you got no clue. Broke or poor, rich or strong, stealing or not stealing, worshiping Satan or worshiping God. In all manners of my life, I have always tipped well, given the homeless money. My last $20 I've given away more times than I can count, because I know $20 was never going to change my life. I know I can always go find food, and I always knew I could go make money after I learned how to do door-to-door sales. So like when somebody looks like they actually need help and I only got $20 and they fucking ask for it, I'm like, gosh, why you gotta ask me right now? But fuck, I give it to them every time. Just about. Oh man, you guys don't know. If you don't know, now you know. Alright, who wants to learn about solar? Do we got anyone in the chat right now that wants to learn about solar? Or should I go and... Okay, KT says, this clown has to delete everyone's comment because he's delusional. Living in his mommy's basement, begging his family for money, and then turns around and loses it all. Then convinces others to. Okay, so first of all, KT, I'm going to find you and destroy your entire life. You can bet the world on that. Like, I've already got you screenshotted 100 times over. So I will find you. I will find your IP address, and your life will come to an end. You can bet the farm on that. Whether it's financially, whether it's your family leaves you, whether everyone finds out that you molest little boys, it does not matter. Something about you is Satan-like, and we're going to find out what it is, and the world's going to know all about it. Just so everyone knows, my sister gave me $100,000 on February 1st, and on February 1st, I invested in GameStop and AMC, started averaging down all this good stuff, and on February 24th, I turned that $60,000 I had left over after all my losses into $1.4 million. I gave one of my brothers $100,000. I gave my fiance $100,000. I gave my sister $100,000, and I gave my brother $25,000. The rest of it, I did lose in options trying to make AMC and GME go to the moon. I've come back since and shown you guys how to put money in options, and everybody's come and thanked me who listened because they made a fortune listening to me. People have made fortunes listening to me, not to KT. I have not lived in my parents' basement since I was 26 years old. And I started the roofing company called Select Adjusters. Okay, it doesn't sound like a roofing company, but it is. And it's a public adjusting company that uses insurance claims to take people through. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there it is. So here's Select Adjusters. You can also look at our actual roofing company that we called Advocacy Construction. So this, again, like if you look it up, my name's probably still on it. I told them to take me off, but last I looked, I was still on. Like if you look at the Arizona license. So this is my company, people. I created this company. This guy right here, his name's Wesley Hathcock. He owns 25% of the company because he bought 25% of my ownership that I sold out of. So, like, all these kids are all 25, 26 years old. None of them went to college. They all make $100,000 to $500,000 a year. My brother, my little brother, who owns 51% of the company, is literally a multi-millionaire. They do solar, they do roofing, they do anything that puts a buck in their pocket, and they think they're helping people. And so anyone trying to act like people that work with me have problems, they don't. People get rich by listening and working with me. Everyone that has worked with me knows that they owe me. They think I'm reckless. They think I can lose, but they always keep coming back and keep betting on me because I keep on winning. Anyone that tells you that they've won and they've never lost, it's because they've never won, and their definition of a win is trash. They've never seen seven figures. I've seen seven figures 5 different times in my life. It means nothing to me. KT, I'm going to burn your life down. I promise. I'm coming for you, you little punk ass bitch. And I never sue anyone. I never sue anyone except for when I win. Every time I've sued someone, I've either been vindicated or I won. And so, yeah, KT is just a liar. A piece of shit. Dane says 8 people watching, killing it, bro. Yeah, guess what? Jesus was ignored before he became the most famous man on earth, you retard. If you guys want to get rich, if you guys are pathetic, if you're a pedophile, if you're a thief, if you're a murderer, if you're a gangbanger, if you're retarded and you never went to school, if you dropped out of elementary school, I can make you better than anyone on this planet. That is what I fucking offer. I offer redemption to the weakest because I can prove the strong and the elite and the famous and the popular are fucking pathetic on this earth today. And we can beat them and destroy them, and I'm the only way to do that. And so I know that my people will come. I know they'll be here eventually, and I'm going to keep saying my message. And I'm the GOAT. Everyone else sucks but me. If you don't know that, it's because you're mentally handicapped or you're not listening. I am the GOAT by far in every way of life. Physically, mentally, spiritually, I am the fucking GOAT. It's not even fucking close. Mutual of Omaha is cowering right now, telling Curtis to offer me $10,000 so I don't spit on his fucking work. Because his work deserves to be spit on because he's chasing the commissions and he's not chasing the helping of the people. I can literally attack anyone and be not unafraid of the consequence because anyone that comes after me, all I got to do is look in their life and find out how they're screwing somebody over. Because anyone with money in their pocket right now today is screwing another motherfucker over. Unless they just got rich off AMC, of course. I think I'm gonna do my solar presentation later because I wanna make sure I get the math right on that one, and so I'll do that later tonight. I'll do it on another video. But this was a fun video. I had a good time. Everyone have a good time? Anyone still in the chat that I haven't banned that had a good time? We got Nox 2K. Thanks for sticking around, brother. Anyone else have a good time? Or is all the other 8 watchers just hating on me? Looks like Nox 2K, you're the only one, brother. Fuck